I've often found that the greatest barriers to us achieving our greatness and doing the things that we are meant to do has nothing to do with outside circumstances. It has nothing to do with our age, the amount of money we have, the amount of education we have. It generally comes down to this. It comes down to us getting out of our own way and taking the action on the things that we know we need to do to get us where we want to go, even if they're small. Hi everyone, Chris Natzke here with Black Belt Leadership Speaking and Coaching with your Mind of a Champion tip of the week. I've always loved this story. It's about this elderly gentleman. Now he's in his 90s and he walks into a gym. Now he's not an ordinary 90-year-old. He has an amazing physique. He has a fully strong and developed chest. He's got biceps and triceps that a teenager would be jealous of. And his legs are like tree trunks, but his back and his legs are also very flexible and supple. And he basically looks like somebody who is a fifth of his age. And a young man comes up to him and he says, "Sir, I just couldn't help but notice what great shape you're in. What's your secret?" And the man looks at him and he says, "Well," he said, "about 70 years ago, I made a promise to myself that every day I was going to do at least one push-up, at least one sit-up, and at least one jumping jack." And the young man looked kind of puzzled at the old man, and finally the old guy came back with, "Well, this is what I knew. I knew that the very first push-up, the very first sit-up, and the very first jumping jack would be the hardest. But if I knew that if I do just one of them, the second would be easier, and the 10th would be easier, and the 20th would be easier." It was just about having a commitment to get moving. So I have a question for you. What's that one thing you could be doing to get yourself moving? What's that one push-up, that one sit-up, and that one jumping jack in your world? Is it that one phone conversation? Is it that one conversation with someone you've been nervous with having a conversation with? Is it that one healthy meal? Is it that one visit to the gym or to the yoga studio or to the martial arts studio? Is it that one sentence that you could begin typing on your computer for that one book that you've been telling yourself for years that you wanted to write? What is it for you? You see, one thing that I do know is that commitment lives in action. And each one of us will come up against things in our minds. Our egos will begin to talk us out of things to get us out of our comfort zone, particularly when we're up to something big. But what I also know is that the people that achieve the greatest things in life aren't necessarily the most talented. They're not necessarily the most intelligent. They're not necessarily the people that have the greatest, socioeconomic backgrounds. They're the people that have made the commitment to get themselves moving and then refuse to stop once they do. So, what's your one step that you're going to take today? Thanks so much for listening, everyone. This has been Chris Natzke with Black Belt Leadership Speaking and Coaching, and we'll see you next time on the Mind of a Champion Tip of the Week.